Did you know that the highest grossing movie of all times falls under the superhero action genre? Now, superheroes are very prevalent, not only in the books and in comics, but now more than ever in movies. And there are two main franchises that bring the comics to the big screen. Those two franchises are Marvel and DC. Now, both franchises are good in their own ways, but recently, DC has been struggling to compete. So today, I'll talk about the what and why struggle of DC movies and what can be done about it. First, I'll talk about why DC movies struggling is a problem. Then I'll talk about the storylines not connecting, causing DC movies to struggle the way that they are. And lastly, I'll talk about why doing a collaboration with Marvel could help resolve this problem. But first, let's take a look into the problem. DC movies haven't been doing so good, and they haven't improved. This is an issue because DC is one of the two most popular superhero franchises that represent the action superhero genre. Now, with such a title, you would expect amazing ratings and high numbers in grossing around the world, but recently for DC, hasn't been the case. A Marvel movie, for this example, a Marvel movie has made more in one weekend than a DC movie's total grossing. In a 2019 Business Insider article, the DC movie franchise made a comeback with Aquaman, and its new strategy will distinguish it from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, written by Travis Clark. He stated, meant to be DC's answer to Marvel's Avengers, the 2017 movie grossed just $229 million total in the US, less than last year's Avengers Infinity War did in its first weekend. That is a huge issue. Now since we've looked at the problem, let's look at the cause, because you can't come up with a solution if you don't know the reasoning for it. The storylines in the series don't fully connect, leaving very big loopholes and a misrepresented presentation. Warner Brothers, the company that houses DC Comics, recognizes that the stories really aren't that connected. According to Travis Clark in the 2019 Business Insider article, the DC movie franchise made a comeback with Aquaman, and its new strategy will distinguish it from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It says, the universe isn't as connected as we thought it was going to be 5 years ago. CEO Kevin Tachihara told the Los Angeles Times in an interview. Now, and because the storylines aren't as connected as they would have imagined for them being 5 years ago and going up against Marvel, it shows in the rankings. So due to such storylines and presentations, the ratings from critics are suffering in comparison to Marvel. In a ranking done by Rotten Tomato, done on the DCEU, which is the DC Extended Universe, in 2020, only 3 out of 8 movies were above a 70% on Rotten Tomato. Now, looking at a bigger picture, in a ranking done by Rotten Tomato done on all of the DC comic movies in 2019, still only 19 out of 42 movies were above a 70%. Only 45% of the movies were above a 70%. But when you compare the rankings to Marvel, in a ranking done by Rotten Tomato done on the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, in 2019, 21 out of 23 movies were above a 70%. 91% of the movies were above a 70%. Now, when you look at the distance, I would call it, in between the two, you see that once more, there's a problem. But because you see where Marvel's at, why not just do a collaboration with Marvel? So let's talk about how doing a collaboration with Marvel could help the DC universe. Avengers Endgame, which is under Marvel, is the highest grossing film of all time. In a 2019 CNBC article, Avengers Endgame is now the highest grossing film of all time, dethroning Avatar. Sarah Whitten stated, Disney said that the film has earned $2.79 billion at the global box office, topping Avatar's record of $2.7897 billion. Now that Marvel has such a big title of, oh, we now host and own the highest grossing movie of all time, doing a collaboration with Marvel could help on so many different levels. Not only could it help with, if they did a collaboration movie, the box office numbers would probably be off the charts. The ratings would at least be 80% or higher, but it could also help for future DC movies. The filming and the time that it takes to create something, tips and new inspirations on filming and concept planning could come from the collaboration, which could then cause different ways for DC to maybe rework some of their films or rework some of their planning so that their films could have, 1, better ratings, and 2, better grossing totals. Now, in conclusion, DC movies haven't been doing so well. It's because of their storylines not being connected, creating a misrepresentation of presentation and ideas. But if they do a collaboration with Marvel, they can restore their original reputation. Now, not only can DC, do a lot of different things, but fans and general audience also have a huge part in helping the DC franchise. You can start writing reviews, on the movie with constructive criticism so that the franchise can look at them. Also, you can contact the franchises via email and give feedback as a fan. Both Marvel and DC as franchises create the movies for the fans. The more the fans say that they want something, the more the franchise works on being able to implement that in their next movies or upcoming movies. So, as the fans getting what we want, let's help DC once more claim the reputation for truly being one of the most popular superhero action franchises. Thank you.